All right, in today's YouTube video, we are doing a start to finish tutorial of Wix. If you want to set up your own website and you want to learn how to do it within literally 10 minutes worth of work, that's what I'm going to be covering on today's video. You can watch me build this sucker from scratch, and by the end of this video, you have an entire website or web presence set up without any stress. If you don't want to waste hours of work on this Wix website builder, trying to figure out the features and the functions and all the things that go into this, you can literally just skip to the finish line by watching this video. My name is Salvador Briggman, and on this channel, I love to share high quality education and information just like this for business owners, for creators, for founders, people that are launching new websites and also growing existing businesses into monsters, into powerhouses. And for those people out there that really want to make this a big launch or really want to grow their company, I'm also going to share with you one sneaky feature which you can use in order to feel like you got an entire marketing team at your disposal. So buckle your seatbelts, get ready to learn. Even if you're a little bit hesitant or even this has been a little bit frustrating for you, I'm telling you, man, you're going to enjoy this video. So watch until the end, and it's coming up right after this. So grab a bowl of popcorn and Diet Coke and get ready to learn. To get started, we're going to click this blue big Get Started button here in the upper right-hand corner. You're just going to click that. And then at this point, if you want to, you can sign up using your name and email, or you could use Gmail, which is what I would recommend, and also continuing with Facebook. So I'm going to use sign in with Google just to make this a little bit easier. And next is going to prompt you who you're creating a website for, whether that's for yourself, your business, or a friend, or it could be for a client or a freelancer. You can also skip this screen if you want in the lower right-hand corner under the skip button. For now, I'm just going to say for myself and for my business. So next, we actually are prompted to enter some information here when it comes to AI, and I do think this is a great way to get started. So I'm going to click Start Chat. You don't necessarily have to get started that way, and it's good to know the old school way of doing it, but we're going to kind of just start with this so you can see what it looks like. So first, we're going to tell the AI a little bit about our website. So I'm going to say that we're building a coaching business for fitness and health and also holistic nutrition. I totally am misspelling that there. So let's get that corrected. And there we go. The more information you can provide when it comes to AI, and also when it comes to if you're working with a marketer, the better, because they can really align their vision with what you're doing. What's the name of our coaching business? We're going to say wellness, fitness, and wellness for now. Just make it easy. And we're going to get this going here. So one of the things that I would say as you're setting this up is just to be aware of what you want to show on your site. What are the features? What are the functions, if possible? And what are the goals, right, when it comes to this specific website? So I'm going to say here, we're going to display information, but also some about services, maybe sales, maybe booking functionality. I'm just going to click the blue submit button there. The more clear you can be about your goals, the more the website is able to do the job that it's intended for. And I know it sounds kind of strange, but every tool, every technology, every item within your business does play a role, and so does the website. Do we have any other additional goals here? So we'll say one additional goal will be maybe a store in the future, maybe building a website. A list, a lead capture list, or a wait list. Get that there. And this is something that us marketers go through regardless when it comes to setting up a site. We're always thinking about, like, what are the objectives? What is the vision? What is the funnel going to look like when we're doing a website setup? And also what this is called is the framing or the positioning when it comes to your services and your products. So how is this business going to stand out? We're going to say we're going after high-end consumers, and we'll have a specification there on location within Miami, Florida, which is where I'm located right now. I actually moved down here after the pandemic was happening in New York. I lived in New York for about 6 years, and I grew up in Massachusetts before that. So we're going to go after high-end consumers within Miami, Florida, who value holistic nutrition and also are interested in balancing life and work. And we'll move through there the segments. And in the next section, we're going to start to focus on the actual build of the site, but this is just going to give the AI a little bit of information about what we're trying to accomplish there. So now all we got to do here on the right, you can see here location, sites, right, and apps, the site type, goals, target audience. I'm going to click go to dashboard. All right, so now we got our dashboard here on Wix, and this is definitely a little bit overwhelming, right? We have all of this information here in the site. We have some of our checklist items, and on the left-hand side here, we also have a lot of other items here within our dashboard. So just to kind of make this a little bit more fun, I think we should first get into the site design, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the features, the new features you can use to upgrade this site. And then we'll talk about some of these more minutiae advanced topics when it comes to features, et cetera, and also a little bit of the marketing. So let's kind of get into the site design. So you're going to click Site and Mobile App there on the left-hand side. If you are following along when it comes to this video, we have here a couple of different ideas or examples, right, when it comes to these different site designs. So if you want to, you can select from one of these if this is something that's going to be useful for you. I'm going to click this one, which is a coaching professional, just so we can kind of see what that's going to look like. Let's just say we want to change this from relationship coach to be a wellness coach. There you go. Very quickly adjusted that. And then we can think a little bit as well about the look and the feel when it comes to these items, but also do we have any sections that we'd like to include that are not included? So if you see here, this blue button, add section, we can very quickly hit that button. And if we wanted to, we could have an AI generated section. We can add elements, or we can have a design section. So a design section is going to be one that's kind of pre-built here, as you can see. So this could be an about section. It could be services. And you can have your services, you could be your promotion. If you want to do some kind of a sale or something like that, I have a testimonial section. You can even have other things like store in the future. So sections are the way that Wix enables functionality, but also allows you to kind of customize the look and the feel of the overall layout here. And you can also have an AI section generation. So if you want to specify the section type, right, and you can give it a couple of information when it comes to that text, and you can have the AI customize that section for you versus you deciding to painstakingly write it out, which is probably the approach that I'm using right now. Some other ones would be adding elements, and this is a little bit more nitty gritty or tactical, as I like to say. So you can add things like buttons here, stripes, a gallery, right? Videos, music. This is when you're getting more specific about what you really want to have identified there in that section. So you can also do that if you would like. And the cool thing here is that you can also very quickly move or adjust these sections, as you can see here. So that's kind of one of the things that I do like about Wix is that it's very easily to edit these sections here. I just click the edit button you can see here. And on the right, if we want to, we can change the look and feel of the background, or we can change the vector art, right, which is the way that that's going to look. We can change the title even when it comes to there, which was coaching services. And that would change the title here. So we want to say instead of coaching services, we could say wellness services, right? And that's going to quickly change that text and information. So the way you want to think about this is really getting a sense of what do I feel like I like when it comes to my design, and what are some of the items I want to change, and using that to prioritize the way you go through your site. Now, let's say we're looking at this and we're like, you know what? I just really, and this is zoomed in here, I just zoomed out here. I really want to change the color palette when it comes to my brand. You can come here on the left-hand side and you can click Site Design. And all you have to do is click Change This Theme. And that's going to allow you to, if you want to, pick a different look and feel that's going to resonate with overall the entire look and feel of the site. So this is kind of like an easier way if you want to when it comes to your color palette. One thing I would say is that I do think color, design, and fonts is really a very specific subject. And I would probably recommend actually allowing a designer to help you when it comes to selecting your brand's color palette and the fonts. Once that's done, you can easily then customize if you want to and have different themes based on those color palettes that the designer makes for you. But I do think that's a very useful tool, and that's something because it's more of an art in some ways, picking those color palettes, and there is a science, right, when it comes to color and design as well. But you can also come here, you can see the page background. If you wanted to, you can change those based on the kind of the vibe that you're going for, and that's going to change that background there. Another quick item I'd like to point out here is the pages and menu section, because this is more around the lines of functionality. So this is going to be the actual menu or navigation bar at the top of the website. So for example, here we have your story, our coaching, our plans and pricing. I'll get into this a little bit more about how to customize this podcast, contact, right? If you want to have a members community. So if you're like, I really don't need all this, you can either hide these from the menu or you can delete these. And that way you can really narrow down, right, when it comes to your site menu, and really just focusing on the ones that you are going to need first when you're setting up or you're growing your business. Some other ones here, we have portfolio pages, you have your store pages, your blog pages. So this is kind of like the fleshing out bare bones, nuts and bolts functionality or blueprint of your website. And these are all of the different pages which Wix has designed for you based on the information which you've fed into that AI builder. And if you're like, dude, I really don't need to have a members area, right? You can literally just delete that members area. It's then going to delete that page when it comes to your website. So a lot of this is curating and whittling down just to the core functionality that you're going to need to be able to run this successfully. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description. Now, within each section, which is, again, how Wix is sort of defined here, there are also other elements, and these elements are going to be individual things like icons and text, right? And I've shown you that if you want to, you can literally just go here and you can edit this. You can set your social links, right? You can change these icons and you can change the links really just by clicking around this specific website builder. One of the ones that kind of can be a little bit frustrating is, hey, what if I want to change the layout when it comes to this section? So we're going to click Quick Edit. And then on the right-hand side, it's going to open up a new navigational menu. And that's what's going to allow you to, for example, change the background here. When it comes to that blue background there, you can change the title if you wanted to, and some of the other functionality, or the button text. You can also change some of the settings here and the links of where that goes to, or this specific background. But more importantly, when you click layout, that's going to allow you to change the look and feel of the entire layout of that specific section. So let's just say we want kind of a different layout here, and maybe we'll do something like this, right? That's going to have a different look and feel clearly when it comes to that layout for that specific section. So you have your individual, nitty-gritty icons and text and all of that, but you also have layout selection information to be able to change the look and the feel of those layouts. And let's just say, I really didn't like that. Oh my gosh, Sal, I just messed up my whole website, right? What am I going to do now? All you're going to do is click on the left-hand side here, undo. So I don't want to upgrade here. I want to undo. We're going to click this undo button. And it can be a little bit finicky sometimes, and sometimes you have to wait a second or two. But there you go. It's going to click undo, and it's going to undo that change. So first of all, if you've made it this far, pat yourself on the back, man, because you clearly now can set up a website very easily. Specifically, you're following along with me. It's super easy to set up one of these sites. But there's a lot more information that goes beyond just setting up a site. So I wanted to get just a tiny bit more advanced with the content that we're doing. We've already learned that you can customize your themes, how you can have different sections. You can move sections up or down if you wanted to, how you can change the layouts, and adding new sections as well. We learned about all of that, and also customizing the menu. We went over that feature and the site design. So you're learning a lot. And what I'd like to do is bring you on this journey further and talk a little bit about more of the advanced customizations here now. On the left-hand side, there's a couple of different items. One is going to be AI tools. So when it comes to AI tools, we could, if we wanted to, add or edit any text. We can generate full sections of text in seconds. We can redesign the site's theme, and we can even get new text for your entire page. So I'm just going to click redesign theme, and we're going to say if we wanted to have change colors, and maybe we wanted to change colors across the site here. Let's click choose from professionally curated color themes. So you can kind of think of the AI assistant as something that's helping you, right? As you're going out there and as you're maybe changing the look and the feel. So they pointed us right to this professionally designed color theme. I don't necessarily think that these are the best design colors, but I just want to make you aware that this is something that's useful to you when it comes to AI. So I've found the design element in terms of branding, fonts, typography, and colors not to be as useful. I find the editing information much more useful when it comes to this. Or if we wanted to say, get new text for the page, more of a professional tone of voice, right? Enthusiastic, and then we can generate that if we wanted to. The other thing I want to share with you here is apps. So apps are really what make Wix quite powerful at the end of the day, because there's only so much functionality that you can get out of the box when it comes to Wix. Some of these apps are designed by third-party developers. So for example, Printful, which allows you to sell and print on demand. You can incorporate things like TripAdvisor reviews if you wanted to, or Yelp reviews. You can have a simple timer, like a countdown timer to a launch. And these are all categorized. You can see on the left to marketing, selling online, services, events. So if you don't want to, hunt down someone to code a specific functionality when it comes to your site, I think the best way to get started is just to look at some of the apps that are also out there on the Wix marketplace, and I would consider that more of an advanced feature. You could also look here into your business specifically, and this is again where the functionality, where the rubber meets the road, and that's really looking at and understanding, do I want to have bookings and start to create those so those are available on my sites? Am I going to enable a blog and start to create blog posts? Do I want to customize my members area or having pricing plans? This is kind of more of the advanced information that you can incorporate onto your website so that people don't only come to your site as like an information source, but also can interact with your site, purchase services, see your working hours as well, right? There's a lot of information here, which you can see under that business section. Now, let's say that we want to very quickly publish this site just to get an idea, and then we're probably going to go back to our main dashboard here in a second and explore more features and functions. First, I'm just going to click Publish, and we can decide if we want to connect our own unique domain or we want to use a subdomain that's on Wix site's main domain here. So we decide to use a subdomain, and look at that. We got our whole website set up very quickly. So all you had to do to publish that was, again, on the right-hand side, click Publish, and there you go. You got that whole new site set up very quickly, and anyone can go and browse that online going to a subdomain. Now, that being said, there's a lot more that goes into the site setup that I want to talk about here in just a second. And I do want to be mindful of your time. So if you have been enjoying this video, first of all, give me a thumbs up, leave a positive comment down below. This is really for those of you that want to go just a layer deeper and understand more of the functionality of the site, but also the marketing and what's kind of fully at your disposal there. So that way you can kick ass and take names, you can move forward towards your goals, and you can really make this a great year when it comes to your business. On the left-hand side from the main dashboard, and the way that I was able to access that there is from the site menu, you just click My Dashboard. It's going to bring you to your dashboard here. And then on the left-hand side, I prefer to customize things from this menu because it's a little bit easier to read. So you can see here, for example, getting paid. So you can connect if you wanted to a payment method. And then from there, you can have pay links. So you could send a link, for example, if you wanted someone to be able to purchase something or you want to sell something, you can create invoices here. As you can see here on the left, you can also do things like a price quote or a proposal. There are many ways you can do that within the getting paid section. There are also other things here like the booking calendar, right? So booking calendar, I tend to use Calendly more for this, for my own coaching. So I do help individuals when it comes to setting up their marketing from a coaching basis. I specialize a lot in crowdfunding, Kickstarter, Indiegogo campaigns, but I also do help when it comes to marketing campaigns. And we also have a website, CrowdCrux Digital as well. And I'll link up more in the show notes. But one of the things that I like to really, make people aware of is booking times and booking calendars. So here on the left-hand side, you can customize your booking calendar. If you wanted to set up your services, you can do that here, and you can say, hey, I'm going to be offering personal training or wellness coaching for this amount, right? Under your catalog. And once you set those up, you can then have your booking calendar, and you can say, okay, I'm going to be available for these times at these dates, right? and that's going to be that information. You can see your booking list here, so you can manage and keep track of all your bookings in one place. If you want to, you can set your work schedules, right? So where staff members are available for the week, and you can really run your operations from that. You can also have a sales section here if you want to be able to gather orders and see that information come in real time. You can do that from your sales section. Gosh, there's so much incredible information and features and functions at our fingertips. I'm getting excited just sharing this with you because I'm telling you, like, it's so easy nowadays to get your web presence up, to start to have people stumble, strangers around the web, checking out your site. It's such an incredible time to be alive, man. But you can see here under your catalog some of the various products if you wanted to run an online store, how you could do that, the pricing. You can customize your inventory, the SKU, which is really just the individual number that kind of corresponds to that product, which is more for fulfillment, right? Your inventory, you can see here, you can put in categories. So there's so much incredible functionality that you're able to get nowadays from literally the click of a button. And that took us like minutes to set up all of this, right? If you wanted to, you can create and publish your own blogs. I started my blog, CrowdCrux, where I share helpful education information. I do that. I got started there in 2012, and I actually have had many blogs before that as well. And it used to be quite challenging to get a new blog up and running, but as you can see here, it's quite simple nowadays in order to do that. If you had a portfolio, you can come here on the left-hand side, customize your portfolio, right? When it comes to things like transformations you've been helping people go through, or development when it comes to their wellness or their fitness. And you can go through all of that there. So I do, like I said, I do prefer to use this dashboard. I think it's a little bit easier than staying within this website editor view. It's a little bit just more challenging to kind of customize all of that business information from a tiny screen here. One of the other things I wanted to point out, and I think that this is probably one of the most important of this entire video, and this is probably the last section that I really wanted to talk about here, is marketing. And that's because setting up a site is great, but at the end of the day, the site is a tool in your business, and marketing is a very big subject. So if you come here on the left-hand side, you're going to see a lot of different checklist items when it comes to marketing. So marketing, we tend to think things like lead generation. We tend to think about sales processes. We tend to think about pricing. How are people discovering you? Who are you targeting? How are you positioning yourself when it comes to your services in your market? How are you branding yourself, right? So the cool thing about this is that I like this new AI marketing agent, but I do want to share with you as well that there's some more you need to know about this. So there's different terms out there like SEO, search engine optimization, SEM, search engine management, CRO, conversion rate optimization, right? Social media posting, email campaigns, paid ads, the list goes on here. So if you wanted to, we're first going to publish this here, and then we can get access to the marketing agent. I think I have, but we'll just make sure that this is activated here on our site. So we'll click publish. So we got that published here. Now let's go back. Let's reload this page. Let's get started here with our AI marketing agent. We'll click let's get started. So what it's doing is it's kind of going through the information that we provided in our onboarding and also throughout this process in order to develop a marketing strategy for us. How freaking cool is that, right? So we have our site name. If we wanted to, we add location. So we would say we can put in here a location if we have a specific retail outlet or somewhere that we're highlighting this from. We have our business goals, right? You have our unique selling point, which was generated already. And we're just going to, for now, say continue to content focus area. I'm just going to start to let this fill it out, and we're just going to keep going through this process. Your brand voice is kind of how you sound, right, as you're putting your content out there to the world. And then you have your marketing services, right, that you'd like to maybe have when it comes to your marketing plan. So I'm just going to click Launch Marketing Plan. And this, my friends, is pretty freaking cool. And that's because you don't have to go through all of this. If you want, you can just click View Marketing Plan, right? What this is going to do is going to develop for you an entire marketing plan when it comes to your business. So what topics are you going after, right? What about your business overview, your goals, your unique selling point, your locations, your brand voice, your visual assets, if you fill that in, your marketing services that you're going to be having there. So this is pretty cool, and you can download this if you want to. But one thing I would say is that there's a lot that's also left out at the same time. So we have different terms out there that we throw out. I'm going to just kind of go on Google here so we can bring this up. We have different terms out there like an STP analysis. So segmentation, targeting, and placement. That's a big one when it comes to marketing. We have another one which would be AIDA, which is the attention, interest, decision, action marketing format, which is a funnel, right? Attention, interest, desire, action, really getting someone to move down that funnel. We have top of funnel, other ones like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, right? And this is really giving people an idea of how the user is progressing through your business journey and starting maybe with your website and moving down your funnel as you go. So there are a lot of different advanced topics that I'd love to share with you. And if this is something that you really want to make this year big, if you want to turn your hobby into a full-time pursuit, or you want to expand your business and grow years into the future, or turn a side hustle into your main thing, I'm going to include a couple of links down below that you can learn more about some of my free education. I have one great course on side hustles, which is a free course that anyone can opt in at down below. I was going to book up my individual one-on-one coaching call option for those people that are excited about moving forward in their life and want to have their hands on really the latest and greatest when it comes to marketing. And also CrowdCrux Digital, which is our marketing agency if you do need help when it comes to marketing your business and getting these set up. But I'm going to link that all down below. Keep in mind that this is a process, and I hope you enjoyed this process going through this with me. My name is Salvador Briggman. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll probably make another video to kind of fill in some gaps. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.